When I went viral, people started asking what I charged, and I had no idea, so I just said $100 per video. For a while, it felt like things were moving, clients were coming in, work was coming in, but I was getting better at what I did, and the number stayed the same. And eventually, there was more work than I could handle, and I completely burned out. My name is Mario, by the way, 800,000 followers on Instagram, over a million on TikTok, worked with brands like DJI and Samsung, and the burnout is actually what started everything. After the burnout, I decided I was going to charge $1,000 per video. I put the new price out there and I just left it. And things went quiet for a while, weeks, then a couple of months, almost nothing came in. And I remember sitting there thinking maybe I went too far, but I didn't touch the number. Then a big brand reached out. They had seen my content and wanted to work together. They asked what I charged, and I told them $1,000. And in that moment, I felt the old voice come back. This is a big brand. You need this. Just be flexible this one time again. But I didn't budge, and they did not negotiate. They just said, okay, we want 3 videos at $1,000 each. And I remember sitting there thinking, okay, something just shifted. What I understood after that was that the price was never really about the money. It was about who showed up. At $100, I had clients who would try to bring me down to 80 and then keep adding changes that were never part of the original agreement. It was exhausting and it never felt like a clean working relationship. At 1,000, the clients who came were different. They already understood how creative work functions. They trusted me to do what they hired me for, and they did not micromanage the result. The brief was often the same. What they wanted was similar, but the whole dynamic was different. And I could not have known this until I was actually in it. Your price tells people something about you before you have said a single word. And whoever shows up at that price is exactly who your price invited. The other thing that changed was how much more comfortable I got to saying no, or at a minimum, being very clear upfront about how I work before anything starts. When brands reach out, they usually have a vision of exactly what they want the video to look like. And I understand that. It is their product. But the reason my content resonates is because it feels authentic. It feels like me. The second it starts looking like a paid advertisement, the connection breaks. And if the connection breaks, the brand gets nothing from the deal anyways because the audience has already switched off. I have seen it happen with other creators. They take every deal that comes. Each post looks okay on its own, but over time, the audience starts to feel it. Something is off, and once that trust is gone, it takes a very long time to come back. So now, I just say it from the start. Here's how I work, here's how the creative process looks like, and the final call on how the content feels stays with me. Not to be complicated. Just because if it does not resonate, it does not work for either of us. There is one more thing I want to talk about, and that is the position you are in when you're having these conversations. When every deal feels like it could make or break your month, you end up agreeing to things that are not right for you because you cannot afford to lose it, and that shows. The other person can feel it in how you talk, in how quickly you fold, in the way you respond when they push back on the price. The thing that changed my negotiating more than anything else was having income that did not depend on one specific deal coming through. When you are not desperate for it, everything shifts. You are calmer. You hold your price without making it a big moment. You can just say no to something that does not feel right and you move on. If you are early and that security is not there yet, the goal is not to fake it. The goal is to start building it. Something alongside your content that gives you enough stability so that your decisions come from what is actually right for you, not from what you need this week. Nobody hands you this when you start. You pick it up slowly through the wrong deals and the burnouts and the moments where you realize you have been undercharging for a long time. I went through all of it, and the creator blueprint is basically me trying to hand some of that over to you so you don't have to spend so long figuring it out as I did. The link is in the description. If the time is right, you will know, and I'll see you there.